Hey everyone, Tyler Burkart here with the 2011 MLB pre-rankings for our fantasy baseball team, or for our fantasy baseball league, that is. Yes, it's that time of the year. Screw the brackets. Who really cares about that anyways? It's baseball season now, and definitely really excited. As you know, a lot of times I do the pre-rankings. Helps me get to know my team and the other teams in the league, and then hopefully it also brings some enjoyment and some competition to the league as well too. So that's why I like doing it, and we'll get this underway. We'll start from the bottom and work our way up in the league. Before I also start, want to make sure that we understand these are pre-rankings. A lot of things can happen, such as injuries, trades, acquisitions. So a lot of changes can really happen, I understand, in the rankings. So with that in mind, here we go. At the 12th spot, I got Chris N. With the Mexicutioner Mayhem. Changed his team name, I see, right at the last minute. The story with him is he has a really fast team. Juan Pierre, Dustin Pedroia, Troy Tulowitzki, Curtis Granderson, but there's really not a lot of power. And other than CC Sabathia, there aren't any other starting pitchers that I really like on this team. So I feel like this is a team that will consistently be beat by about 10-5 every week. Won't get blown out, but won't really make a huge dent into somebody. So unless Chris can either get some more power and get some of those numbers up, such as doubles, homers, and RBIs, or if he decides to get some more starting pitchers, I don't see him winning too many categories in this league. Coming at the 11th spot is the BK Broilers, Brian Kleinschmidt here. And Brian, I feel like I never like any of your teams, but you just go out and prove me wrong, and you're just going to have to do it again here. Great three-pitcher combination here in Lester, Kane, and Carpenter. Then I look at your offense, and other than Robinson Cano, all I see are old athletes. I mean, you got Alex Rodriguez, Jorge Posada, Paul Konerko, Ichiro, Rafael Furcal, and Raul Ibanez, who are all like in their mid to upper 30s. So I see a pretty old team here with the BK Broilers, and that's not good trends for you, Brian. I'm going to have you at the 11th spot here. Coming in at the 10th spot is the ZG Express by Ben Wirtz. I believe Adam Wirtz's brother here. I actually think he's got the best pitching lineup. I mean, between Holiday, Jimenez, Price, and Buchholz, an awesome starting rotation here for Ben Wirtz. That'll get the job done, but unfortunately, I think he has the worst hitting lineup. And we happen to be in a league where we had the most categories being hitting categories. So while it's great he has all pitching, other than Prince Fielder and maybe Andrew McCutchen, I don't think players like Casey McGee or Kelly Johnson are going to get it done for you. So I got Ben Wirtz coming in at the 10th slot. Coming at number 9 is the Ellsbury Doughboys by Chris Pollock. Clever name. Chris made me laugh when I saw it. Chris, as far as you, one of the better hitting lineups. I mean, I think Morneau can bounce back. And then you also got Miguel Cabrera, Holiday, Kinsler. All bats that can definitely bat in the 300s. But I think your pitching strategy is just a terrible idea. You have only 4 starting pitchers. We're in a league where we have a lot of wins, Ks, K per 9 innings, which I think you're going to bank on some of the relief pitchers to help you in that category. But I just don't think that will get it done in a league like this, where still I think quality is important, but you got to have at least some quantity, and you don't have any quantity there. So the pitching category I think is a really bad idea. If you decide to change that, I would be willing to put you higher, but because of that, you're the 9th spot. Coming in at number 8 is the LA Quakes, my brother Nate Burkart. Nate, I'm afraid that you fell into my trap this year, which is falling for power. I do this every year, and it blows my teams. You know, you got Joey Votto, Adam Dunn, Beltre, and Chris Young all can power it. But batting average kind of goes out the window, especially when you have players like Adam Dunn on your team. Also, Ks, you'll probably have a lot too. But you got to increase that starting rotation. Ryan Dempster as your number one ace is maybe not perhaps the best idea. So that's what I see. And a lot of your pitchers, too, aren't good at strikeouts, which not only do we have a strikeouts category, but we have K per 9. So that's 2 categories that you might lose out there. So some areas to improve on, but overall, pretty good hitting lineup. And, yeah, you got a lot of speed, too. So the 7th spot goes to Brujas, Adam Wertz. Adam Wertz, I think you're always in that middle pack, and you're very consistent, and I think you're going to be a very consistent middle pack, maybe go up and down a little bit, but a lot of speed, maybe the fastest team in the league, especially if you have Crawford and Michael Bourne, not to mention Zobrist is pretty fast too. But I think the thing that's going to hurt you this year is you have no players from the previous year that had either 30 homers or 100 RBIs, and so not to mention that may affect doubles as well. So I'm curious how that will impact your team. But overall, just a very consistent, good team. So Adam Wertz coming in at the number 7 spot. Number 6, Jay Cutler's MCL, Evan Armstrong. Evan, I think, is the most interesting team this year because he's either going to possibly be at the 1 or 2 spot or at the bottom. I mean, just these players, Justin Upton, Alex Rios, Alexi Ramirez, Corey Hart, and Jason Bay. You look at those 5 players. One year they have a terrible year, and then the next year they have this great year. Very inconsistent players. So it's going to be interesting to see what he puts together with this kind of talent. Average, mediocre pitching on top of that. So they can produce like they have in years past and do it all at the same time. We got a stellar team here, but I don't know if all players will be able to do that. Number 5, I got Russell Branyan's, Kyle Armstrong. I love the Adrian Gonzalez and Victor Martinez picks as they're in new places. Also, one of the best values in the draft I thought was Mike Stanton, who has the talent to hit 30, 40 homers this year. But your second base, shortstop, and utility positions are a huge bust at this moment. And I feel like if you want, especially like I said, in a hitting emphasis league, if you want to be a threat, I think you got to at least increase those positions a little bit to get a little bit higher. If he takes care of that problem, expect him to be in the top 2 or 3 and really be a competitor in this league. I have myself at the number 4 spot. I like my power and Ryan Howard, Alex Hill. I think Alex Hill is going to have a little bounce back year. Hanley Ramirez and Jason Hayward, which we have some great young talent, not only with him, but Ike Davis, I think, is going to have a breakout year if he hasn't already. Batting average is terrible, though. I think I have 2 players that have over 300 batting average, and that's it. So that and hits are going to really struggle, but a good pitching lineup with Justin Verlander, Chad Billingsley, and Felix Hernandez. So I really like my starting rotation. Coming in at the number 3 spot, Brian's Blasters, Brian Edmondson here. I have him labeled as the best hitting lineup. I mean, not only does he have Pujols, Mauer, Kemp, and Ethier heading into the year, but he also has Beltran and Utley. So if these guys can produce and get healthy, I mean, by far, in my opinion, the best hitting lineup in the league. It's just that pitching is incredibly mediocre toward the bottom. So we'll see what he does with that. But a great hitting lineup gets him the number 3 spot. Number 2, the Barrelmen with Josh Miller. Josh, I never like your teams in fantasy. I never. And I was getting ready to bash your team again, and then I really liked it. I think this is the first time I ever ranked you this high for any fantasy sport. I think Mark Teixeira is going to have an awesome year. He always seems like he has this like really rough period, but I don't think he's going to have that this year, and I think he's going to be a huge bat for the Yankees. So that was an awesome pick. Buster Posey, I mean, he's going to have another great year. I think hopefully we won't see that sophomore slump. I think Shane Victorino is going to bounce back and really produce. And then, so your whole batting lineup I really like a lot. One thing to improve is you have only 4 starting pitchers. So similar to Chris Pollock, I think boosting your depth at starting pitching, especially when quantity is at least important for some of those categories, I think it'd be important to have those individuals. So therefore, we reached the number 1 spot, and coming in at the number 1 spot is Granky, Lucas Rank. Now, Lucas won the year last year, and I think he's put himself in position to do it once again. He's got Carlos Gonzalez and Josh Hamilton, some of the most well-rounded players in the whole league. And then I actually kind of like the Aramis Ramirez pick. He only had 1 bad year, can definitely produce and step up this year again. And then Grady Sizemore, he's going to be back, I think, at the end of April. And you can keep him on the bench, but if he gets back to full strength, I mean, you're talking about an outfield of Sizemore, Hamilton, Gonzalez. That would be incredibly scary for this league. Starting pitchers, you have Cliff Lee and Josh Johnson. That's a great duo. But after that, it kind of slumps off a little bit. So maybe improve there. But otherwise, I really like Lucas heading into this year. So there you have it. Those are the standings for the 2011 year. Be interesting to see what happens. Good luck to all the managers. And if you guys end up running into the KC Urban Planners this year, just bench your players and do yourself a favor, because hoping to take the championship trophy this year. Take care, guys. And play ball.